Hey, welcome to another video blog and podcast with Skinner's Outdoor Adventures, where we give you product review, talk about adventures that we are going on, and general chit-chat. So stay tuned for the ride. Hey everyone, before we get started here, I just wanted to hop on here a second and apologize to our podcast listeners because this will be a lot more visual on our YouTube page. You can follow us along there, or you can listen along here. I try to explain it as well as I could, but you can always reference back to the YouTube channel and watch the video there, and you can see the clips that I shared about it. Hey everyone. Today we're going to talk about Gaia GPS or Gaia Maps. This is what we use in the Land Cruiser on our Apple iPad tablet. We do all our mapping on there when we're out in the woods and stuff. We use this also at home to plan our trips on the desktop. So we just want to show you some of the basic steps of it. A lot of people ask us, what do we use? How does it work? There's other ones, they ask us, why do we pick this over that? Really for us, it was a free trial to try it. We liked it. So we went ahead and purchased it. It's $40 for a year. You can find discounts to get it down to $30. But we just find it works for what we want it to do. So with that said, let's continue on. All right, everyone. So we're going to go up here, and I already have Gaia Maps loaded up over here. So we're going to click on the tab. This brings you into their base map. We'll map overview. This brings you into their base map. The base map here is Gaia Streets. It's just like Google or Apple. You can scroll down in here, and it shows you everything. Shows you, here we go up to Scottville, shows you the streets, the water, landmarks, buildings, pretty much everything. So just like any other good mapping program would show you. Some of the other things it will do, and we'll turn these on, is you can put your waypoints in. So there's my waypoints that I've plugged in through the time. I can put in the labels. So you can see, we'll go down here to Whiskey Creek. We spend some time there. You've heard us talk about that before. Whiskey Creek Campground. So it shows you the waypoint we placed for Whiskey Creek and the title we gave it, Whiskey Creek Campground. You can also see these over here where we've labeled them, tree down. There's a mud pit. There's gates up here. And you're probably all wondering why these waymarks are here. So we're going to show you, because if I flip this one to tracks on, now it shows you the tracks we've made and all the routes and stuff we've saved through the times of being around up there. So again, let's go down in here and show you a little bit closer. So we'll go down here. Down here, there's a tree over the trail. So you can see I backed up and turned around. Other things that we had is here, there's a tree blocking the trail, but we made it around it. This trail I remember very well. It was very tight. I'm starting at this point. It was a very tight trail. It was straight. We thought we were going to get down through here to the river, and there was a tree across the trail. So I marked that. So all this is public. So anybody else that wants to see where we've been, or anybody just gets on Gaia Maps and wants to see public tracks, these are public tracks, and other people can check them out and see the waypoints. I got dead ends. You can see that. And then back here to Whiskey Creek. Another thing, you can save other people's tracks. or other people's trails, like I was just saying. So let me shut off my stuff here. And let's see if I can find any that I've saved. I'm not sure if I have any right now. Doesn't look like I do. At the current moment, I don't have anybody's routes saved right now. But if you did, it would show up on here. All right, everyone. So now that I've showed you a little bit of the bases here with the map overlays, let's get into some of the other map stuff that we have. We're going to do the map layers here. So as you know, right now we're using the Gaia Streets. So I'm going to click on, I use a couple different ones here. So we're going to click on that one. So that just opened up and shows us all the accessible forest roads in the national forest. And we're going to click on this one as well. And this also shows us some of the other forest roads on top of the ones that showed us. Plus it shows us some other hiking trails and stuff on here. We use this a lot, especially in the national forest, because it allows us to see trails. If you click on them, it shows you kind of the road numbers, the coordinates, obviously where you're at. It gives you other info sometimes. But if you're familiar with the national forest, you know that these numbers, like this one here where it says 5150, you can find these numbers out there at intersections. There will be a brown post up and down or sideways, depending on the road conditions. The trail conditions, if it's up and down, that's for high clearance vehicles. If it's horizontal, that's for low clearance vehicles. So it kind of gives you an idea on what terrain you're going to be finding. Some of the other ones we use is, I'll use this private land sometimes if I'm looking for spots to overland and to camp for the night. As you can see, we're down here. Let's go up here to Whiskey Creek again, where we hang out quite a bit. Here's Whiskey Creek. So as you can see here, so now that just opened up. It tells you private property. So it gives you private property, but it also shows you, United States. So that's public property. And anywhere these are, especially in the national forest, you can camp. Any of these spots, as long as you're can find a spot off the trail, you can camp for the night. It's free, it's legal, nobody's going to bother you. So that's some of the stuff we like to do. Another one we use sometimes is this one here, and we will close out the Gaia street maps. We don't have that one. Now you want to set these in order. So you can see right now how it doesn't show me the other ones I did have up. If you move this map base down to the bottom, now it shows you the maps again, or the roads again that we were seeing earlier on top of this. So this is kind of a topographic map. It shows you that. That's one we used. Another one we use sometimes is this one. And these are all online. These are all, especially with the premium service, you can get all these maps. So again, it shows you different layouts here. Sometimes we'll use this overlay. This overlay, especially if you're up here farther on some of the river accesses, it will show you other spots, canoe campgrounds, other landings, recreational sites. Another one we use, and where's that? Not seeing it. So I'll show you how to get in here. So if you want other lays, you can go to this add map layer. And they have things to specify what you want. But we also can just go on to click on these downloads here and it will show you maps, different maps. If you click on the info button, it will tell you what it's about. Back up, you can add it. The one I am looking for is this one. Add that because that should be one I normally use anyways. This one here is kind of one of my favorite ones. It's not everywhere, but it is in certain areas that we use. So if you scroll down, we can shut off the private land ones. If you scroll down here, it gives you a lot of info. If you click these off as well, it's just an idea. This one will show you all the roads, the federal areas, show you all the info, the landings, the numbers, everything's kind of like right there. But scroll out, you can see it's not everywhere though. So hopefully we'll see more. Though you see it right here in the, basically it's the national forest area is what it covers. So that's why we still kind of use some of these other ones. It still helps us out. So with these, if you take it back and we use our saved routes, that plugs on top of all this, our tracks. Let's go back, not tracks, but routes. We'll go back and now you can see all our routes. And if you add the waypoints, now all that stuff is labeled on here, kind of a neat fashion. Here's Whiskey Creek again. And you can see all the roads we've been on, all the roads we haven't been on. Again, lots of info, lots of things for planning trips and seeing where you're at. You can use this when use it just like this in the vehicle so you can see where you're at. Very helpful. Well, now that we showed you some of the basics here, let's show you kind of how you can plan out a trip. Let's go back into here and remove tracks. We're going to put the routes on, rid of the waypoints and the labels. Let's go in here and we're going to take out some of these base maps. So it just leaves us some of this stuff here. So here you can see here's a track we made already at one time for mapping out stuff. So let's go, let's say we're going to start one from Whiskey Creek Campground here. So you're going to click on this line tool where it says create route. Click on that. Right now it's just untitled, it's purple. You can change the color here. Since we already have a purple, let's do red. Right now you can set up, this is going to be for driving, public share. You can click that on later if you want. Right now this is private. We just want to do it for us. So we're going to click here at Whiskey Creek on the road. And let's just say we want to come down to this corner here. So before we click on it, you can see it's already lining up a road for us and follows the road. So we'll click there and now it made a line. Now, if you click and hold, you can slide the map around. So let's just do here. So now we can come down here and click another line here. Now it made that line for us. So we say, this is kind of how we do some of our planning and our routes. And you can see it just makes a road. Now, if you're out here, you're trying to figure out things, just lay it on there and it will make a line. So let's go here. Now here comes the tricky parts. Sometimes it won't follow these two tracks well. If it does follow it, it'll line up for you. This one's going to line up for us. So you can see it's just doing that. And we're going to go over here and it's following that one. And let's go down here to Woods Trail. And I did that one. And can we take it all the way back to Whiskey Creek? Yep. And there we are back at Whiskey Creek. So now we can click. So it shows us here, we did 13.9 miles and the ascent is 485 feet. So if we just scroll out, you basically can see our route. We map this, it's roads that we can take, and it tells us how long it is. So this is a good way to map out your trails when you're trying to figure out some trips to take. We've done this several times for different trips we've gone on, and it's helped out. Now, when you get out in the woods, obviously you can use this, but then you don't have to stick to the plan. You can always go like, hey, I'm going to go this way, and you end up over here, and taking it different ways around. This just gives you a guideline to help you figure out where you're at. We're going to cancel that because we don't want to save that. All right, so now that we did all that, there's not a whole lot more to go over here. A couple things I want to tell you about is when you've been out all day on the trails, if you're using your phone or a tablet, you want to make sure when you get back home, you want to go into your settings or your preferences, and you want to make sure you upload the maps. And what that is just basically syncing your maps that you did on your phone with your account that's on the internet. If you do that, that will give you the information on your desktop. And another thing I want to show you here, this is a screenshot of my iPhone. And it can show you, this just shows you kind of what it would look like when you're using it on your iPhone. If you have it on your tablet, it's a lot bigger. There's more stuff at the top to display, and it gives you more information. It's quite very good as a GPS as well. We use it quite often just for seeing where we're at, seeing what's going on. Also you can see on here on the green lines again, these are all public routes that people have done, anywhere from hiking to walking to biking to traveling on the roads, whatever the case may be. So I hope this gives you guys a little information on the Gaia map system, enough for you guys to go check it out. Obviously, this is how we use it. Other people use it different ways. People will tell you different ways how to use it. It's just a matter of getting on there, playing with it, learning it, just like we did. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We sure can answer them for you. If you've been listening to us on the podcast, I apologize a little bit. This is probably more visual than not, but please jump over to the YouTube page and check us out there. And you can watch all the same information on there. So for now, this is Chris with Skinner's Outdoor Adventures, and hope to find you on the roads less traveled.